Most of the time, we don't think about what a book looked like or sounded like before publication. However, I can assure you that it wasn't what it is right now. Welcome to the Rainy Corner. My name is Tammy R. Hamilton, and today we will be discussing why your first draft sucks and why it is not an indication of why you should quit. Your first draft is that it's you finally taking every point in your outline and bringing them all together. You leave the making sense of all the scrabbles you put on the page in the editing. You need to leave the editing and the perfection for the editing phase. The draft is not something perfect. The draft is not set in stone. It's simply the base. Think of the outline as the blueprint for a skyscraper. You now have the blueprints. You have your draft, which is now the base, the foundation on which you will construct your building. You leave the editing, which is the actual construction and whatever it is construction people do, for the editing. And you need to understand that the final draft is not the first version. It never is, and it never will be. And if it is, then it's probably a bad book. And if your first draft does not suck, then I envy you. All authors must envy you. I do not want to say that it is a rule that you must suck, because that would probably be a terrible rule that everyone will always and forever hate. But I do want to let you know that it's something natural to suck when you're writing a book, especially if it's your first time writing a book. When I first started writing my book, I thought it was amazing until I read it, which is something I do not recommend you to do. The reason I don't recommend this, and no author will ever recommend this, is because when you write something, when you first write your first draft, is not your best work. It's the foundation of the work. So when you look back and you realize that it's not as amazing as you might have thought, you're going to have that urge to edit. You're going to have just that instinct to fix this and that, remove that, scrap that out, and you're just going to find yourself stuck in the middle of an endless editing loop that's probably never going to stop unless you have absolute control of yourself. Trust me, I've been there. Take it from someone who has not taken her own advice. It's not a rule that your first, or let's preferably say rough draft, because it's that rough draft, it's not a rule that it has to suck, but it's something natural, and it's something that will happen, especially when it's your first time writing a book. Your rough draft will suck, and you're going to want it to suck. You're going to find that it's helpful for it to suck. And as you gain more experience, it eventually won't suck as much, but it's okay for your first draft to suck. Because once you get into the editing phase, you're going to start fixing all of those mistakes, all those plot holes, the grammar. You're going to fix it all, and it's going to be better. You're going to see how much progress you've done, not only on how your story has evolved, but on your own skills as a writer. And trust me, when I tell you that it's going to make you feel a lot better than a lot worse in the long run. It might make you feel incredibly terrible right now, but in the long run, you'll be like, oh yeah, of course I sucked, but look at this beauty. That's gonna be you in the future. As I have previously stated, your outline is for you to know what happens and when. It's like the blueprint. You jot everything down, you get the measurements. Hopefully you do. But your first draft is finally taking those connected dots and filling it in. You just scribble all over in there and leave the editing for the end. Trust me, do not edit, do not look back unless you have complete self-control over yourself, because take it from someone who has done this. I've looked back and it's been a mess. The editing phase is what will help you take your rough draft and create it into the personification of perfection as you probably and should desire. And lastly, don't worry. You think every writer starts off with an amazing manuscript? Of course they don't. And if they do, well, good for them. They don't. Trust me when I tell you they don't. I don't know them, but they don't. No one starts off being J.K. Rowling, okay? So don't worry. And I've probably said this a million times in this video right now, but don't worry. Why are you going to worry when you can fix it tomorrow? And by tomorrow, I mean when you're done writing the entire manuscript. In the end, just don't worry. Let your first draft be as long or as short as it needs to be. Let it be as messy as it wants to be, because the editing process will make it better, and it will show how much you have evolved as a writer and how much your story has progressed. And in no way is a terrible first draft an indication that you need to find yourself a real job. It's merely your base, merely your foundation to what you're going to accomplish in the future. So don't quit, don't fret, and keep on writing. Anyways, if you have stuck until the end of this video, thank yourself and thank you on my behalf. I have Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. Links will be in the description to all of those. I also have another channel called The Rainy Corner Vlogs. I'm not sure if you're aware, and you're probably not if you don't follow me on social media. And in that case, go follow me on social media. But my brother started his own channel about 3 weeks ago. He has his very own gaming channel called Willy the Conqueror. If you want to show him your support, go watch his videos and leave a like, subscribe to his channel. He would very much appreciate it, and please do not mind his screams. I have to sit through that every single day. I upload videos on this channel every first and third Friday of every month. Subscribe if you would like. I'm not gonna force ya. If you subscribe, great. Do you and me a favor and click that notification bell down there. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful 2 weeks, because the next video is coming out in 2 weeks. Bye.